Good morning. Happy Wednesday. This week is flying by. I'm getting ready for my Rittenhouse outdoor art show. That setup is tomorrow. Our setup time is between 4:30 and 6:30, I think. So, hi Kayla. Hi Lori. Good morning, Gloria. Hi Christy. So how is everyone? Hi Allie. Good morning. So it's nice to take this pause. It's been a crazy few weeks between the launch of Art in Bloom and getting ready for this art show. And I had the art show at a gallery in Lancaster in August. So it's just been between painting and getting ready for things. It's crazy. Like, I think you forget how hard it is. It's kind of like childbirth. You forget how hard it is, so you sign up for it again and again and again. How can that be? It's crazy. But I'm happy to paint this morning because I won't be able to. Hi, Martha. Hi, Sarah. I won't get to paint any more probably until next week. Hi, Henriette. So one year, one of the first years that I did this art show, I did a live demo when I was there, which was really fun. I'm not nervous about doing things like that. I love it, but it's like a whole nother thing to bring. Like I had to bring all my supplies. I had to bring a table to set up at, and it's just so much because it's on a city block in Philadelphia. So loading and unloading your car is a hassle. Like all of it's tricky, and setting up the tent with everybody around you and people walking by, and but it's all good and it'll be fun. I'm looking forward. I love seeing everybody there. The getting ready and the setting up and the tearing down and unpacking, not so much, but the in-between part is really, really fun. Hi, Tammy. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I asked everybody what you wanted me to paint, and a lot of you wanted me to paint something from market. So that's what I'm going to do, and I am up for something different. Yes, Allie, you have to bring your own tent, all your own stuff, and set up. All you get is like a taped off area where you set up. Hi, Sarah. So I'm going to paint these figs today. I love the colors in the image. I think that's what spoke to me the most. I got it this morning. I was trying to figure out what I felt like painting, and this was kind of speaking to me. It's very vibrant. I want to capture that vibrancy, and I think in order to do that, I'm going to have parts that aren't so vibrant. Hi, Ellen. And there's some parts like down in the shadow area, see that glow? Or see how there's light catching at the top little portion of that fig. So I really kind of zoomed in. An exercise that I always want to do, maybe I'll have to do it with Inspiring Art Group, is to choose an image and zoom in on like a part that you're intimidated by and focus on painting that piece of it without thinking about the whole thing, and then go back and paint it, because then you gain confidence in the area. Because sometimes there are areas for me too in a painting like that I find myself avoiding because I'm not sure where I'm going with it. So if you can kind of squelch that little fear, play around with exactly what you're afraid of, it'll get you further in the long run, I think. So I think we'll have to do that with the Inspiring Art Group. So this is mostly blues and purples. We have that little bit of or is it that warm area where the box is? That's about it for the crazy other areas. It's fun. This is a little bit of a different color palette for me, which I like doing. Let's see where the box goes. Maybe I'll just put it in lightly and see what happens. So how is everyone today? I hope everyone's doing well. Hi, Michael. Yellow Tulips. What a fun name that is. I just packed up some yellow tulips for the show. brush. I think the new brush, it feels a little wonky. You're sleepy, Ellen. Me too. Oh my gosh. I think the night before last I might have slept almost 0. Last night, slightly better, but getting ready for a show, like, I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about all the things that I could possibly be forgetting, or the things that I'll remember in the middle of the night, but I'm sure to forget by the time I wake up. So then I have to get up and write them down. And by the time all that happens, then I can't go back to sleep again. I'm just so bad at sleeping. You don't appreciate it when you're good at it, when you're young, I guess. Like my daughter says, oh, I'm going to sleep in. Like, she can sleep until lunchtime. Like, are you kidding me? I can hardly sleep until 6. Hi, Judy. And purples and blues. I want to keep it vibrant and fun and happy and not get too lost in the details. So I want to let happy accidents happen, maybe push the window of what colors I'm using. That's kinds of things I think about when I start. It doesn't always stick and it doesn't always happen, but that's what I'm thinking about. Good morning, Terry. I need a little red too. What could that bright blue? That bright blue could just be this little bit of, I have to like put a little bit in there so I don't forget and kind of cover up that area. Okay. So right before I came online here, I spilled my coffee all over my desk. Ugh, I can't tell you how often I do that. You think I'd learn just not to have it here with me. So I mostly just have it on my paper towels, and I'm going to try and still use them instead of wasting them. Now this will be a fun color to try to capture. That color in there looks, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how. Good morning, Susie. How I'm going to capture that. I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but I'm looking forward to see what happens with it. Because it almost looks like white and chalky a little bit. And I want it to have that same soft kind of feel. Yeah, Virginia, the colors are so fun, aren't they? It kind of ends right there. So what's new with everybody? Where's everyone tuning in from? Oh, Terry, the transparent colors I'm using mostly are manganese blue hue for this blue in here. And I'm using ultramarine blue and dioxazine purple, a little bit of Indian yellow, and then this is magenta. Accentuate the magenta a little bit too. I love that. Okay. Yeah, so I have most of my stuff kind of ready, but now tonight's the night we load the van and kind of get it all together. Just crazy. Morning, everyone who's joining. This is really dark in here. I'm just going to throw some really dark area. You know, I want to really try to keep it simple. I say that to myself all the time. I don't know why it's so hard to do, because then I always kind of get lost in the details a little bit, but not entirely. Little by little, it gets simpler. Oh, Judy, I've found that I like 3 coats of gesso. 2, sometimes I feel like this paint soaks in too much. So yeah, lately I've been doing 3. And for some reason, I absolutely love putting gesso on the board, so I don't mind putting 3 coats on. So busy, Anita. Yeah, I want to try and make that not be a thing anymore. That's my goal. I think after this art show, I'll be able to pause a little bit. That's my goal. And try and prioritize what things I want to spend my time on. Because, yeah, it's been crazy. Like, I don't ever not work. Including, like, my real job. Which has been busier lately, too. So I have a client lunch today and have to run around get stuff. Both sides. No, you don't need to. Oh, then the holidays. I decided that this crazy piece of time that I've just had, Allie, when the holidays come, I think I'll enjoy it. I won't feel stressed by it because it won't seem that hard compared to what I've been doing. All I have to do is like make holiday ornaments and ship them out. Like that sounds refreshingly easy to me now. I guess it all depends on your perspective, right? I always loved that book that I read to my kids about gratitude, and it was a story where a guy came in to like his whoever, it's old in the olden days, and that he said my house is too full. I live here with my wife and my 3 kids. We don't have enough room. We need a bigger house. And then the guy's advice to him was, well, go get chickens. So he did. He went and got chickens and put the chickens in his house, and they were all running around. And then he said, it's still too full. He said, there's too many chickens. I can't get anything done. It's crazy in here. And he said, well, bring in 2 cows. So he went and got 2 cows, had those in his house. It all got crazier. It shows all the chaos in the book. And then he goes back and says, that didn't help at all. It's still too crazy. I can't do it. And then it goes on and on where he keeps adding animals and building up. And of course, at the end of the book, he comes in the last time and he said, it's just too much. And he said, well, get rid of all the chickens and the cows and all that. And then he just had him and his wife and the kids. And he's like, it's perfect. Perfect. Love that. I think that's a good start, right? That was pretty easy. I'm going to put the lid on my medium and put that out of the way so I don't spill it, since I feel I'm prone to spilling today. And gosh, I already don't even remember why I told you that story. Not terrible. I'm going to put a little bit of radiant pink in here because I feel like it. A little something to glow. Oh, it was this. Oh, that's right. Anita, it was my story about when Christmas comes. I think I won't find it as overwhelming as I do sometimes. I'll be like, oh, I only have to ship out 8 paintings and, yeah, I can only wish. 12 ornaments and this and that. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, no big deal. I can do that. No problem. It could always be worse. All right, that's enough. I don't need any more on there. Okay. Clean up my transparent colors. So I have a clean palette to start with. I'm going to do my pigment sticks. So where's everyone from? Thank you, Martha. I'm going to put a little bit of this. It's a color I bought out some other colors this morning. What is this? Warm pigment sticks, warm rose. I'm going to use a little bit of warm rose. I have to clean it off though. It's got the film, the dry pigment is on the outside there. also got this one out to play with. This is olive yellow. It's pretty too. Ellen's still in Virginia. I'm still in Lancaster. Judy's in North Carolina. Joanne in northern New Jersey. Joanne, did you tell me where in northern New Jersey? Ottawa. We were just at a wedding in, gosh, where was I? In the Oranges, I think it's called. My son's girlfriend went to school there. Oh, Spain, how wonderful. Putting in these little light colors. I don't have very many of them, but that's all right. I'm going to put a little bit of my favorite color in, even though... Hi, Bill. Bill is from down the street. I didn't even know you were watching. Is Emerson with you? Or is she at school? South Alabama. Little town called Wanaque on the New York State border where Tappan Zee comes over. Oh, okay. Oh, hi, Emerson. My little neighbor Emerson's watching. She's a kindergartner this year. Yes, Joanne, I do. I gesso. I put like 3 coats of paper, 3 coats of gesso on the paper. And putting gesso on this paper is like one of my favorite mindless activities to do. It's right up there with mowing. Hi, Sheila from just down the street in England. Just down the street. All right, so that's my, still a little, I tried to fix my lighting. I filmed something the other day for my inspiring art group, and I had to figure out how to film from above and from this direction, and I figured it out, and I think my lighting's slightly better, but I still need to figure that out. I gesso before, Ellen. So what I do, I can show you one. I have one right nearby. I actually get them all ready. It's that kind of morning. So here's one. So I gesso it, and can you see where the gesso ends? So I draw off my area, and then I just paint in that square. And then when I put my tape on here, I put my tape on like just a 1/16 of an inch out. So when I pull this off, I can see the edge. So if people want to frame it up to that edge, they can, or they can leave the rough edge. But if I mount it onto a board that's then the same size, this is 6 by 6, then I have a little bit of extra around the outside to cut off so I don't have white on my edges. So it seems to work for all the possibilities of how to frame it in the end, I think. Oh, wait, I'm going to bring you over here, but my little arm fell off my table. One of these days, little by little, I keep getting each of the things I need to be able to film better. Now, what's that? That light's not this. Does that bother you? I'll just try and mix down here a little bit. Oh, look, that's coming with me. It's a reflection from a light above there. Oh, I use, it's called Arches oil paper. Lighting is so tricky. Like, I really can't quite understand how to light things. So I have that kind of yellow. I'm going to start with that kind of yellowish color that's in there just ever so slightly. Some of that, and put some red in there too. I don't need very much of that. It's just a tiny little bit in the painting. And then I have my fun turquoises. We'll play with those. So I have this color that I've been loving. Like I say, you can make most colors with the basic palette, but sometimes I buy new colors just because I love to. And this is Cobalt Turquoise. Vlog says, my husband did the same thing, and now his desk and laptop's like a flight deck. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. And I don't have room here for a flight deck. Yes, that's what you need to do. Oh my gosh, if you could have seen me filming the thing the other day, where I could film from both angles, it was all a little crazy because I was in this tiny little space all tucked in with the computer in one spot and then my phone above me, and it was crazy. But it worked. Now I have to practice doing it more. It's nice for the shadow areas of the box. I'm going to take a little bit of this. Let me get more of that cobalt turquoise and put it there. I want to add a little bit of yellow into it. Might be too bright. Yeah, that's good. Neither does he. Just keeps buying stands and clips to adhere them to. Quite impressive. Maybe he can come help me. I know that's certainly an art to doing that. And you know, in my business, I've been an art director, so I understand lighting enough. But no, I don't. No, I mean, I guess this all taught me how much I don't know about it. Because I can figure out sort of what's wrong, but I can't figure out how to fix it. Of course, if I had more space, that would probably help a lot. Now I want to lighten this color, but I don't know that I want to use white, so I'm going to put a little bit of this rose. Now, you know what? I'm going to put a little radiant magenta out here on my palette. Let's see what we get. Oh, that's nice. That needs just a little bit of permanent rose in there. Really nice. Okay, I'll do that with a little bit more permanent rose. I only need a tiny little bit of that too. It's still not quite mixed correctly. And you can, you know, use paints that aren't really mixed and get a neat effect. I've just like been trying to keep mine mixed. But you know, boys and their toys. This office is tiny, tiny space, hence all the clips. Oh, that's one of the things I have to take with me. Let me write myself a note. Thank you for the word clips, because I have to be able to clip my booth number to my tent. And one time I forgot to take clips with me. So I'm so glad you reminded me of that. Thank you. It's like one of those things that I wake up in the middle of the night thinking, I have to remember that. I have to remember that. Do you think I remember it? No. That's really pretty. I'm going to take purple. The opposite of that for the complement is yellow. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of that yellow and desaturate that a little bit. Not quite enough. Let me get some Indian yellow in there. I want it to look a little less purple, a little more neutral, a little more of a grayish purple. Do you see how that went a little more gray? Good morning, Emily. And now I'm going to do a bluer shade, and then I think I can dive in. It's amazing how really very little paint you need to do a painting. Oil paint really goes a long, long way. I'll mix them right in that spot where you can't see very well. I'm going to take some of that and add some white into it and see if I get kind of that color. So maybe go a little gray, but we'll worry about that later. I think that's a good start. This is a piece of marble that I got at like a countertop store. It's just a little sample of it. When I filmed Art in Bloom, I usually paint on a piece of glass with gray underneath, but it reflected too much. This reflects a little bit too much too, obviously, but nowhere near as much as a piece of glass would. So that's why I got it, and I just never went back to using the glass because it's pretty and it's a nice neutral gray, and I'm not distracted by I like the pattern in it. It just looks nice. You know, artists, we all like pretty things. Oh, my favorite medium is called Zest It, and I really only use it in that first layer. No, I didn't use any medium when I was mixing those colors. Let me see, okay. All right. Oh, so this is a fun part where I get to go in here. So I usually go in and put darks in kind of to begin with. And I want to do intentional brush strokes. And I'm not saying this is teaching. I'm reminding myself of this. Because sometimes I do it and I get lost in it. Second blue color on the left side of your palette. Second blue color is dioxazine purple. So the one, this is ultramarine blue. This is dioxazine purple. And then this has, I think this has some magenta in it. This is a little pinker, purple, blue. Downside. Did I tell you which one? Or did I miss it? Gail. My favorite reminder, tell Siri in your phone, set alarm at 10:09 a.m. get clips. That's a great idea, Judy. But then I'd have to do it while I'm painting, right? That might be disruptive. Yeah, clips. And then I have to find them. I used to have some in my art studio. I think I know where they are. Who knows? I hope some of you, if anybody's in the Philadelphia area, that you come to see me on Saturday. When I did this the last time, I met so many people that I know from online. That was like one of my favorite parts of doing the show. Oh, video. Oh, over here, the video blue. And oh, I also put out, well, I threw it away now. It's a little bit of radiant turquoise, but my tube was old and I threw it away. Video blue is yes, it was radiant turquoise right below it. I need to get more of that. I'm pretty much fresh out of that color now. Unless I have another one in my bin. I didn't have time to look. My multitasking, yeah, I don't know. They always say I've spent my life multitasking, but they say it's really not productive to multitask, but I don't know how not to. I say I can't do one more thing besides these things. Although when I filmed the other day and that's a whole nother thing too. When you're filming and you use like a program where you can change things around, you have to pay attention to even more things and think. No thinking in straight lines anymore. Yes, radiant turquoise. Yep, that's what it was. Sorry about that. I wasn't sure which one you meant. And I do like that color. I'll probably replace it at some point. That's one of those colors you can get at Michael's, you know, when they have the coupon, which I always want to go there and buy some of these basic colors whenever I get a coupon, or what did they call it, like frequent flyer miles, whatever they are. But I never get there. I mean, because it is like a whole 10 minutes from my house. Do you even start off with oil pastels and then go onto the paint? So I started off with a transparent layer underneath here, And then those pigment sticks I just do for fun. I add them in at the beginning stage after I put down my transparent layer. Rewards, yes, that's it, Allie. I'm running out of paper towels because I messed them all up this morning. Spilled coffee on them. I've never had a mind that's linear. I don't even understand linear. Which makes it tricky for like packing up. My friend Beth had given me her art show like list of things not to forget. And it's just like a foreign language to me. Like she has everything in the world in there, like, I don't know, Band-Aids and a flashlight, and I am not a person to even think of that. I was thinking about that, looking for her list, and I did find it, and I did pull it out. I always just hope that Beth will be there, because if anything ever went awry, I would just go look for her, because I know she'll have all the things. Right? Sometimes the resource is knowing the people who have the stuff if you need them, and not necessarily having them all yourself. I think we all remember different things. I haven't seen my friend Beth in a long time. I hope she's there. I forgot to look to see if she had a booth there to see her. Let me sip of my coffee. 8:32. We're doing okay on time. I'm just kind of lightly pulling my brush over that area to kind of blend colors a little bit. Sometimes I do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking. And that's what best friends and girlfriends are for. That's absolutely right. Have each other's back. No, Ellen, I won't be painting live. They're not doing that this year because of COVID. They're keeping it very careful. So no live demos. I was saying in the beginning, I did that like one of the first years I did Rittenhouse. And it was fun. I enjoyed doing it, but it's a lot of extra stuff to take along. And it's hard to pack everything you need. Really, really hard. I don't know what color I want to put in that little area. Plasters and clips. That's right. If I forget my clip, a friend will have it. Usually my friend Steven, who has been my art mentor, he usually does this show. I actually use his tent. He lets me borrow his tent, so I've still not even gotten my own tent. So I think this show hopefully will be the clue of whether it's time to invest in my own tent and keep doing shows, or have this be the last one, because it's just exhausting. I hope it's not the last one. But yes, he's doing a show in Arlington or Alexandria. I keep getting confused. My niece lives down there. You think I know the difference between Arlington and Alexandria, but I can't remember which one he told me. Oh, this paper, this is 6x6 that I'm working on. My little tiny ones are 4x4s, but I think it would be too hard for you to see me working on a 4x4. And my brush this is the Rosemary number 12. Yeah, the walls, once you get set up, isn't it fun? Yes, talking to all the people is so much fun. I love that part of it. The wall part of it, his tent isn't, it's his old tent. So it's the tent structure that you put up with the metal bars. If I have time, I would love to do a time lapse of the setup of the booth. And then his panels, they're like, that's one of the hardest things to fit in the car. They're these really long, like, I don't know if they're 12 feet long, and they look like they're rolled up, and they look like the mesh like that they put on a boat or something. So they unroll, and that mesh, you put the little clips into it. I had clips here because I didn't want to forget them, but I took them and put them with everything that's going with me. But that's what it hangs with, the clips. So they're not the ones that you're thinking of that everybody uses, the pro panels. He just got those, the pro panels. After all these years, he's been doing shows for a really, really long time, and he just got himself the pro panels. Yes, and this does, so when I do my 6x6, this is this brush, and when I do a 4x4, I use a brush that's almost half the size. It's the 8. So my two girlfriends shared a travel cot. It was purple and fab. What's a travel cot? I don't know what that is. Anything purple is fab, right? There's a little bit of that darker color right in here. Push that back a little bit. I'm getting too lost in those details. I'm going to let go of doing that area. I don't want to get fussy with it. That looseness will start leaving if I get too lost in those details. That's a little, there, I went right back into those details, didn't I? And I'm going to do it one more time. That's kind of what I needed, I think. That lighter color in there. That helped it a little bit. It's already better than the picture. Thank you, Henriette. Oh, what was the best advice? Borrow things until you know what you're doing. That's always good. And then, yeah, I should just buy his from him eventually and then pay it forward to someone else if I keep doing it. But he's had really good shows, I think, this year, which is good. Good for him. When you paint larger, say 12 by 12, would you size up again? Yeah, that's one of my challenges, Susan. I wish I could get this same brush 3 times this width, and I can't find anything quite like it. So that's been a little bit of a challenge for me, finding a larger brush that I like. But I would love to. I have all kinds of brushes here that I've been playing with, but I haven't found any that I love. I would say more than not, I use the same brush most of the time. A little lighter in there. I'm going to get a little bit of paint down here in that little crease. And UK, a baby bed. Oh, a cot. Oh, purple cot. A baby bed. Okay, that's good. I need to go in and do some lighter areas now, I think. Let me have a sip of my coffee. Like a pack and play. Oh, okay. I know what that is. Now my goal is to try and get these to look dimensional and stay fun and spontaneous. So I'll put some lighter colors in. Ask right. Yes, Judy, I need to ask them. I have thought of that. I can't imagine I'm the only person that would love that. A larger brush, the same. And maybe there's a reason why they can't make it larger. I have no idea, but it is worth the ask, right? I think I want that to be a little bluer here. That's a little darker than I want it to be. Oh, my fruit series. Oh, the ones that I did fruits for my calendar. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Maybe I did. I do like it at the one end there. Yeah, I did a fruit calendar 2 years ago, I guess. This year I'm back to birds. Actually, my calendar I'm getting, oh, that's right, I didn't get to do it yet. I wanted to do a little thing and ask people like which bird they like the best to put on the cover. So I need to do that before I send it out. That would be fun to see what everyone's opinion is. Maybe I'll get that done when I get back from the art show. I did all my birds on 8x8 this time. They're larger. I think that's good. Look how dark that is. I wanted to play around too. I have another color here, this interference blue, that looks a little bit, let me show it. I might have shown this to you before, but I wanted to play with it. I'm just going to take this out of the tray and hold it. So it's a little opalescent. I'm going to take a little bit of that, so it's not in your line of vision, and mix it in with that interference blue. I might as well put it all in. But it makes it look almost pearlescent. Can you see that? So I'm going to put a little of that in and see what we get too. It's fun playing. Michael says, any tips for getting confidence in an art practice and how to find your style? Just keep practicing. Take risks. Don't put pressure on yourself. I think often for me, breakthroughs, and in all honesty, and it happens, I think it'll happen for the rest of my life. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Like I'll do something, I'll like push myself and do something and I'll be happy with it. I'll try it again, then I won't be, and I'll be like, oh, that was a bad direction. I love doing things like even doing something completely out of my comfort zone. I find that helps, like getting out acrylic paints and doing something crazy and abstract. Like everything adds to kind of your toolkit of art skills. And I have to tell myself the same thing. Like I feel like I'm at a little bit of a spot here where I'm feeling a little bit stagnant. So I'll push myself to try different things. So the next time I'm in the studio and I have a little bit of free time, I plan to probably play with acrylics and like push my creative window a little bit. So, and I'd say that, yeah, it just develops over time. I think I have a style. I think people recognize my style a little bit, but only a little bit. Like I think I'm only at the beginning stages of all I have to learn too. But that's the fun thing about art. It's a never-ending journey. I don't know that you ever achieve the finish line, because what fun would that be? Yeah, the journey is so much fun. I also like your stationary paintings. Stationary, Stella? I don't know what you mean. still stationary. You'll have to tell me, like, show me one. I think my art block and hesitating is fear of wasting money on lovely paints and paper. Any ideas? Yes, waste away. Like, you won't grow if you don't. And if that's what's holding you back from experimenting and having fun, then my suggestion would be to go to Michael's and buy some, or where, I don't know where you are, but go buy some cheap art supplies. Things that you don't attach that preciousness to, so that you can just explore and have fun and not worry about it. Oh, pencil. Oh, yeah, I love doing pencil drawing. That might be boring, but I would be happy to. Oh, I love pencil drawings. So, yeah, I could do that. It's kind of, besides watercolor was kind of my first love of art. And so is pencil drawings. Are pencil drawings. Are. I don't know. You mean the painting of my pencil and my palette and my paintbrush? Is that what you mean? The ones that I just posted? They were fun. Oh, yeah, okay, good, Laura, thank you. Yeah, that was fun. All of those were fun to do. Yes, I could do that as one, sure. I don't think that would be boring. Sometimes what I decide to do or not do, I do it so that I don't want everyone watching to get bored. So I do think about that a little bit. I got a little too much on my brush. Some wild colors in there. Clean my brush off. I have too much at the end there. I feel like I'm getting a little lost in the details, which is something I don't want to do. Just need to soften this edge. So if you just bring your brush down through there, it softens the edge. It pulls those colors together. Colors are pretty fun, aren't they? So these two, that line in there is distracting me because it doesn't even exist. These really do almost like bump into each other right here. So I'm gonna make that happen. See if that helps. That's like a tension line that's looked a little weird. A little bit more. Because there's that piece where you don't see that at all. Yeah, that helped. That was distracting. Having a little more coffee and thinking about what areas now need more highlights. I think I need to push. I think I need, what do I need? I need lighter purple a little bit in here. that's a little distracting. That got too light. I don't like how that looks. It's too dominant now. Push it back a little bit. And the fun thing is with like oil paints too, they don't dry. So you can do kind of a dance back and forth. Like you can add something, take it away, add it back in again. I mean, after a while it's not forgiving, but for the most part you can do that a lot. And like some of these colors are a little brighter than they are in the photograph, but I like that pushing the envelope of color a little bit. I don't like it, I love it. All right. What else do I need to do? I think I need to make this the stem a little more neutral maybe. Maybe a grayish. Color. Yes, I love the bright colors too. They're happy. I got too much of my brush. I was thinking about your fruit paintings the other day. You haven't done one in a while. I may have read your mind, Kayla. Yes. Yes, I hadn't, and I do love painting fruit. That helped that a little bit. This is a little dominant here, but I like that. I like how that looks. I'm going to clean my brush and do. All right, I need to look for any other light areas that I need to add in. Any other spots? This needs maybe softened right here. Maybe a little pink. The yellow complement keeps the viewer in the painting. Great choices you've made. Thank you, Susan. Thanks. And a lot of that too is, to me, is intuitive too. Like, I always try to learn all the things. Like, that's another thing that that I try to think about is you learn all the skills and you know what you're doing enough, but then you almost have to forget what you know and trust the process. So I might be doing something and think, well, I know I should do this. I know I should be thinking about composition. I should be thinking about all those kinds of things. And sometimes I'll just dive in and not care about any of it and just listen to my intuition. That's good practice to do that too. And not overthink the how-tos and all the skills that you already know. Because it's a lot to know. It's a lot to pay attention to. But I think the more you know, the more intuitively you can do things because you kind of get it. at some point. Ish. Like I said, it's never ending though. Always learning new things, experimenting with new things. I don't know. Am I fussing with it too much now? I might need to be finished. Do I have any highlights that I'm missing? Maybe just a little one right here, and I think I might just call it finished. I think that I'm fussing with it too much now. I think I need to call it finished. See anywhere I need highlights? Okay, I'm going to sign it. It's a purple feast for your eyes, isn't it? I love Wednesday mornings too. All right, I'll pull the tape off. My thing's going to stop in like 2 minutes, but it's fun to see the edges. Like I always say, I like the rough edge too, but there's just something so satisfying about pulling the tape off. It's so much fun. Now I have dirty hands. I always have to be careful. So let me see if you can see. Is it focusing okay? That's how it turned out. So very fun. Love the reveal. Me too, Ellen. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and a good weekend. And if any of you are in the Philly area, I'd love to see you at Rittenhouse. Wish me luck. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks, Allie. Bye, Henriette. Bye, Judy. I have to set my reminder now because writing it down here in front of me is not going to help because I won't see it. I know, it's so fun, Martha. Thank you, Gail. Thanks, Kayla. So as usual, I will save this. There'll be a link to it on my website, on my blog. I still didn't even share the one from last week yet. I'm that far behind. Looking forward to Philly. Oh, good. Yes, be sure to come say hi. I love meeting everybody. And yeah, and it'll be on my YouTube channel too. So thanks for coming, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day and a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Thank you.